A very warm good morning, dear students, and welcome to your political science class. So, this period has been allotted for your personal study, and to ensure that your personal study time does not go a waste, today I will present before you two topics from the chapter Political Parties. So, the first topic that we will cover today is state parties, and secondly, we will continue our discussion by discussing about the challenges that political parties face. So let us see the learning outcomes. So after completion of today's discussion, you will be in a position to assess the meaning and importance of regional or state parties in India. And then you will be in a position to analyze the challenges or the obstacles, the hurdles which political parties come across. So let us begin. So, first of all, let us try to understand what is a state party. So, remember that the Election Commission, along with classifying the various major national parties of the country, they have also classified some major parties of our country as state parties. So, these state parties are called so because they are born in a particular region in a particular state. So that is why these state parties are also referred to as the regional parties. So the regional parties or the state parties, they usually grow in a particular region in order to ensure that there is proper development of the region. So the election commission has mentioned or has recognized some of the major political parties of our country as state parties or regional parties as well. So there are certain regional parties which have got national level political organizations. For example, we have parties like the Samajwadi Party, the Rashtriya Janata Dal. So these parties are not just limited to their own region. In fact, they also have represented India in the national level politics by being in alliance with certain political parties from time to time. So there are many other parties like the Biju Janata Dal, the Sikkim Democratic Front, the Mizo National Front. So these are also regional political parties which cropped up because they were conscious about their state identity. They wanted to ensure that the identity of their state is recognized, because of which, due to the love for their region, these groups or these parties they came up. So, over the last 3 decades, the number and the strength of these parties have expanded. So, although the regional parties they crop up in a particular region for the love of that region or for the security of that region, but still, from the last 3 decades, the number of regional parties have been increasing, and also the strength, the members of the parties have been expanding year after year. And as already mentioned above, many of these regional parties they also have represented India in the national level politics. So at present, the importance of state level parties have become so much that it has made the Parliament of India politically more diverse. So nowadays, since there are lots of political parties which are given recognition and lots of political parties which are also of the state level, that is why it has made our parliament look very diverse. So it is very important for you to know that till 2014, no single national party was being able to secure majority votes in the Lok Sabha all by themselves. And that is why many national political parties, they formed alliance with the regional parties or with the state parties. For example, the UPA government, that means the United Progressive Alliance government, there it was the Congress party along with many other state level parties. So until 2014, till BJP won, none of the national parties secured majority votes on its own single handedly, and therefore lots of alliances were made with the various state parties, and this made the Lok Sabha look really very diverse and more representative. So because of the growth of lots of political parties in the state level as well, it has really contributed to the strengthening of federalism as well as democracy in India. So remember that in India, as I told you, until 2014 there was no single national party who has been able to form the government on their own single handedly. But if you go back to history of the 1950s, 60s and 70s, then the Congress party was there who was ruling as a single party. But slowly and steadily, after the declaration of emergency by Indira Gandhi in the 1970s, Congress lost its previous glory. And since then, whenever they came into power only with certain alliances. And in between, there was also the alliance of the BJP party during the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So at that time, it was the NDA government which was formed. That means BJP along with its alliance regional parties. So NDA stands for National Democratic Alliance. Okay, so after that, till 2014, as I already told you, no single political party was able to secure the majority seats in Lok Sabha, and hence they were compelled to form alliance, to form coalition with several state parties. And this in turn has helped in strengthening the federalism and also democracy in India. Okay, so now let us take a look at the important regional parties in India as on 13th of April 2018. So this is the list of regional parties which are recognized by the Election Commission of India. So let us come to our own region first of all. Here you can see several political parties which cropped up in the regions of Northeast. We can get the example of All India United Democratic Front in 2009, Assam Gana Parishad in 1985, which was the regional political party of Assam itself, the Bodoland People's Front, the People's Party of Arunachal, Naga People's Front in Manipur, People's Democratic Alliance in Manipur, then Mizoram's People Conference, the Mizo National Front, the Sikkim Democratic Front, the Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, then Lok Jan Shakti Party, the Janta Dal, then the Aam Aadmi Party, the Indian National Lok Dal, the Samajwadi Party, the Shiv Sena, the Janta Dal, the Telugu Desam. These are all important political parties which cropped up in various regions of India and which are given recognition by the Election Commission of India. And all these regional political parties, they have together shaped the political scenario of India as a whole, along with the national political parties of India. And all these regional parties, they cropped up from time to time due to the safeguarding of their region and because they wanted their region to get national importance. So take a very good look at all these regional parties in India and also try to remember the year when the regional parties were established along with the places. So this was all about the regional parties or state parties. So now this brings us to the next topic for today, that is challenges to political parties. So political parties, they face a lot of challenge, and these challenges generally come to the political parties because people everywhere, they express strong dissatisfaction whenever a political party fails to perform their functions. So this popular dissatisfaction and this popular opinion about political parties and the various criticisms of the public, they have focused on four problem areas of working of the political parties. So political parties are criticized because of all the four reasons that we are going to discuss now. So let us begin with the first point. So the first challenge that any political party face is lack of internal democracy within parties. So, lack of internal democracy means that there is a tendency within the members of a political party to concentrate power in the hands of only a few people, especially the few leaders at the top. So since there is lack of internal democracy, therefore the party do not keep interest in including more and more members. Members are not registered. Then more and more meetings are not held with all the members. Even the close elections, all the internal elections within a political party is not held regularly. So since the democratic process, the democratic practice within a single political party, it is lacking, therefore it is a very big challenge for the political parties to work appropriately. So they try to concentrate power only in the hands of a few leaders at the top, and they do not keep any kind of membership registration. They do not hold organizational meeting, and also they do not conduct internal elections regularly to ensure that the best people come and join their party. So this is the first challenge that any political party faces, especially in a country like India. So the next challenge is that most political parties do not practice open and transparent procedures for their functioning. So ordinary workers in a political party, they do not get much scope to rise to the top in the party and help in the decision making process and also help in framing their policies and ideologies. Because in many political parties, it has been seen that the top position of that political party is always controlled by the members of one family. And this thing is very common in India. So the top leaders, they assume greater power. They are the only ones who make decision in the name of the party, and the other members, they are always at the bottom. They never get the opportunity to move at par with the top members of the particular family who is ruling that political party in one way or the other. And this is, as I told you, very common in our country. Let us take a look at the third challenge. So, the third challenge is about the growing role of money and muscle power in parties. So, there are parties who try to win elections by using shortcut methods. So, they use a lot of money as bribe. Then, at times, they also use power and violence in order to ensure that they get votes during elections. And there are also many cases when we see that parties, they support criminals so that they can win the elections on behalf of the party by using their muscle power. Also, there are many rich people, many rich companies, businessmen, MNCs who give fund to the various political parties so that the political parties work or they make their policies and decisions in such a way so that it is beneficial for those companies who have given them funds. So, this is the third challenge, which is again very common in India, and that is the growing use of money and muscle power in parties, especially during elections. So, fourthly, people do not find parties to be a meaningful choice for their votes. So, sometimes people do not feel like voting because they feel that they do not have much options. They find it very difficult to you know to have options, and because there is lack of options, so they find it difficult to keep on voting for the same set of leaders every time. Again, there is another problem with this. Many a times in India, we have seen that there is a tendency within a member of one political party to change his party. So when a person keeps on shifting from one party to another, then it becomes difficult for the people to decide as to which party to vote for, which party to support. They are always in a dilemma as to they should support this particular person because he belongs to a particular party, or he should be supported because of his ideologies. So people do not find parties to be a meaningful choice there for their votes. And this mainly happens because of the shifting of political leaders from one party to another. And these leaves people with very less options. So these are the four challenges. I will take you back to the previous slide. So the first challenge was lack of internal democracy and concentration of power in one or few leaders at the top. Second challenge was most political parties do not practice open and transparent procedure for their functioning, and there are many situations in India where we saw that the top positions in a particular political party is always controlled by the members of one family. Then we went to the third challenge where we talked about the growing role of money and muscle power in parties, especially during elections. Then using of shortcut methods, bribery, then getting funds from the business farms, etc. And lastly, the problem of politicians shifting from one party to another, which keeps the voter in a very difficult position to choose their person whom they want to vote for their representative. So that's all for today, dear students. This is your homework. Make sure you write the answers of both the questions very well and submit me your homework today itself, compulsorily in Google Classroom. Remember, all records are being kept. So don't think that if you don't give the homework, I won't be able to know, because all records are being kept. Everything I have maintained well. And I also would like to remind you regarding your portion for unit test. So your portion for unit test is this chapter that we are doing currently, that is political parties. So thank you, students. Please go through the entire video, and after that, don't forget to go through the PPT and your textbook. Thank you. Have a very good day.